Sup Net, it is Kirk FM here with the newest top 5, the releases for September 23rd. Pretty excited, some pretty cool stuff came out. Not a lot came out, but some really fun little gems and surprises that I did not see coming. Alrighty guys, let's just get into this. Number 5 this week, we're going to go with Fury number 1. I think this is going to be a standalone, and it's part of all the standalone 50th anniversary of S.H.I.E.L.D. comic books that Marvel have been putting out. I wish that there was a little bit more spotlight on some of these things rather than all the Secret War stuff that they've been doing. Fury number 1 is a lot of fun because we are focusing on Nick Fury Jr. He is the Sam Jackson version of Nick Fury in the 616, and he is the son of the original Nick Fury in the 616, and he is just rocking a S.H.I.E.L.D. mission against the Hate Monger, which is one of my all-time favorite old characters, and for some reason I collect old comic books with him. I don't know why. But anyways, they bring that character into it, and sure enough, there is a little issue of time displacement, and now we watch Nick Fury Jr. have to go travel back in time to meet his dad. But by the way, there are S.H.I.E.L.D. protocols in place so that they can't actually tell each other, by the way, Dad, I'm your kick-ass son from the future. Everything's going to be fine. S.H.I.E.L.D. still rules. Alright, number 4 this week. We are going to go with a little surprise series that I discovered. I got like an advanced copy of this thing, and it was only the first few pages, and it was really fun, and I was looking forward to see the whole issue, and I ended up picking it up. Public Relations number 1 by Doubles Due and First Comics. This was a really fun series and a great surprise. Basically, we are dealing with this character named Dan Clover, and he's kind of like the Lloyd Dobler 80s quintessential John Cusack character. And then we are also we've already met the character that is like his would-be girlfriend, and she's very Ramona Flowers influenced. Why am I telling all this stuff? Because this comic is really funny. I really dug it. It's a writing team, and you can obviously tell that they are all about 80s pop culture and funny references. And sometimes there's a little too much narrative as far as like the captions go, just to fit in a couple extra other jokes. But then I realized that they were doing that to kind of move the story on a little further and like fewer panels, and also to flesh out some of the other characters when they were not on panel or being shown in the comic book. The art really pops. It's kind of cartoony, but still relates a certain tone of seriousness. Think Rat Queens. It's the first run of that series. That art really pops. Alrighty, so moving out of one pleasant surprise of a really special find, we're going to move on to another pleasant surprise from DC Comics. Number 3 this week, we're going to go with We Are Robin number 4. It's by, I'm going to screw his name up. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Really fun, interesting part for this issue was the penciler Harvey that he brought on. Different art than what we've seen from the first 3 issues, and man, this thing fucking killed it. It really is like really clean lines that reminded me of Adrian Tomine and like this whole other series of Weezer posters that he did a long time ago. And then you kind of mix some of that art and sensibility with like a certain pulp flavor to it, and it's good. Is it okay that I actually put post-it notes inside the comic book? Is that weird? It's a little weird. When I make notes, I put post-it notes in my hard copies. We're still following the main character who is also popping in and out in the regular Batman series. But it was just really nice to finally focus on one of them and get to know them and see how they're all grieving after the events of issue 3. And now my interest is peaked again. Number 2 this week, Wolf number 3 by Ailes Cott, put out by Image Comics. I keep talking about this series. I really do enjoy it. Not much more I can add to how much fun I'm having with it that you haven't already seen in some of the other previous videos, but the newest issue is out, and basically we start to get a better sense of who Wolf's supporting cast is, which I'm really appreciating. Also, Cott did a really great thing. He's starting to add even more layers to who our antagonists are, and now I hate them even more than I did when they were first introduced to us, and that's a good thing. Some of these guys fucking suck. I hate the people that Wolf is like in cahoots with, but also just are gonna try to screw him over. And it's definitely being a great motivator for me to see that hopefully something really shitty happens to these characters. You're as blind as a bat. Ugh. Just did a Riddler joke. It's shitty of me. I regret that too. And which brings us to the disappointment of the week, which, the disappointment is me. I'm disappointed that I don't have anything to bitch about. It was a lighter week for comic releases, but I can honestly say that the short stack that I had this week, overall, pretty impressed and pretty happy with what I picked up. Some of the series that I'm following, like I said, I found some other little gems. So I am all the sads and disappointed because I didn't have a whole lot to read this week. Oh well. Boos and hisses, and let's throw a pity party for me. Which brings us to number 1 this week. I'm going with Nameless number 5 by Grant Morrison and Chris Burnham. And Jesus Christ, isn't it so awesome when these guys work together? I know everyone loves Grant and Frank when they work together, and their Batman stories were fantastic. But Burnham and Frank have worked a lot together, and Grant and Chris Burnham have worked together. And I love their collaboration. They work on the same levels, and when the two of them put the words and stories and art, it just is fucking amazing. So let's talk about Nameless really quickly, because I know you're drooling over that cover right now. It's fucking pimp. We're taking a step back. This whole series has been about cosmic horror and also like the occult, and we have this Nameless character who is like really big into the occult and into mystical things that he doesn't even necessarily want to describe to people around him. And they are being shot into space because there's this giant fucking asteroid which probably encompasses pure evil and the macabre heading towards Earth to start the apocalypse. This issue takes a step back, though, and explains how the whole mission and how everyone came together and where we got in the story thus far, in ending in number 4, which are horrors and atrocities that you will not be able to wash from your eyes with enough bleach in the world. That said, the apocalypse has never looked so beautiful. Burnham's art is killing it in this series. On top of that, there's some really great choices made in the art where you're watching one scene, but dug in the back, you can see the outcome of what's going to happen, and there's some foreshadowing that is just kind of ingenious how they planned it out. This has just been so cool because at first I thought I was just going to get like a different idea of how Grant Morrison wants to express ideas, and now I just realized that he flipped it on its ear, and he somehow used space, horror, the occult, and aliens to maybe explain religion and faith and God on Earth. And my mind was kind of fucking blown. It's so good, guys. I am so glad that I stuck with this series when a lot of people said, I don't get it. It's come together beautifully. It's meticulous and it's methodical. But also you can tell that these guys are having a shit ton of fun telling this story because that's coming through in the pages. So Image Comics Nameless number 5. It's a good issue to read as a standalone singular because then you can go back and read issues 1 through 4 and understand how you got to that point in the story. Bad fucking ass. Sometimes I use this as therapy with you, dude. I don't know why. And that brings us to the end of the top 5 for this week. As always, you can find me at Twitter at KirkLikeStuff. Please leave comments down below. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What are you reading? Disagree with me? Share the love? I don't know. Like, what are you looking forward to in the next couple of weeks? I didn't have like a really big question thought up because there was just a lighter week for comics. Like I keep repeating myself. But like in the next month or two, like what are you really looking forward to? Is it Marvel and the 8-month jump ahead, or is it whether or not DC's going to keep cutting certain titles that are actually doing really good a little prematurely, or is there any collaborative teams that have announced that we're going to see coming from Image or any of the other indie publishers? What else do I need to tell you? Go over to Comic Impact, like and subscribe. Go check out the podcast, which I'm really proud of. That's kind of in full swing now, and we're doing a great job with that as long as the internet never fails us when we are recording it. And really just thank you for sticking around this long in the video, because we do it and you are spending your time with us and sharing our love and discovering new comic books. Like, we're building a community, and that's the best fucking part of it. So until next week, I will see you guys later. Bye.